Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and how y'all doing lately? How's your Overwatch games going? Mine are going, fantastic. But I mean, hey, with the Overwatch 2 beta less than a month away, your rank in Overwatch 1, it's not gonna matter by the time that comes around. No, that's not me trying to justify why I'm still not in Masters for DPS. Okay, it is. That justification is also kind of the inspiration for today's video, which is talking about something that the Overwatch community has been, bringing up constantly ever since, I want to say, the second competitive Overwatch season, which is an SR and MMR reset. Now, very quickly, for those who don't know the difference between SR and MMR is basically the hidden algorithm that calculates everything that takes place in your game and decides what rank that you belong at. And that basically creates this final number, which equals the SR that displays on your career profile. And it's very important to understand what MMR is, especially when we go into this new Overwatch 2 beta era, because this is going to be the time where Blizzard can really test out a lot of things so that we don't get a lot of people saying,
same game.
I always find it funny when people complain while watching Overwatch 2 gameplay, saying that it looks like the exact same game. What did you expect gameplay of? Did you expect this to be Battlefield 2, Destiny 2, Call of Duty 2? No, this is Overwatch. This is so stupid of a thing to say, but I digress. This is really the time where Blizzard has to try to test things out to try to make it feel like a brand new experience that players might not like. They want to test out things like the new 5v5 system, like the new push game mode, like the new UI, but especially quite possibly a new competitive system, but even better yet, definitely having a SR and MMR reset. We want this to be a brand new experience, so we need a complete overhaul of everybody's past experience in Overwatch 1. I've talked about it numerous times before about how we need a new competitive system in Overwatch, and I will get to that later on in the video, but right now I really want to focus on the idea of an SR and MMR reset, because what a lot of people aren't going to realize, and it's even happening right now, because you might be experiencing the worst competitive Overwatch games that you've ever played. I mean, I at least know that a lot of people that I'm colleagues with have been saying that, yeah, Overwatch games are the worst that's ever been right now. And it's all due to the fact that a lot of people are coming back to Overwatch because they heard of the Overwatch 2 beta and they want to practice. They want to get used to playing the Overwatch engine again so that they can prepare for this new iteration of Overwatch 2. And it's not going well because they haven't touched this game in a couple of years. And it makes sense because Overwatch has changed so much over the past couple of years, to the point where even if you were a Grandmaster player back in 2017, you were nowhere close to a Grandmaster player nowadays. And this applies to every single rank. A gold player back in 2017 is not going to be able to compete well with a gold player nowadays because they're not familiar with who's meta, who's the best DPS, even 222 roll lock. Like, so much has changed to the point where if there was going to be a competitive mode in the Overwatch 2 beta and you were to not have an SR and MMR reset, it'll be the worst competitive experience because everybody's playing at the rank that they don't necessarily belong at. So if there were to ever be a time period where we have either a hard or even a soft reset of MMR and SR, now is the time. Now is the time to give everybody brand new ranks, even if it does shoot their ego down just a little bit. So right now we got three issues on our hand. The first issue is people aren't playing at the rank that they're going to be playing at because they haven't touched Overwatch in years. The second issue is that competitive seasons don't really feel like they differ from one another, and placement games is kind of just a continuation bridge in between the two seasons. And the third issue that admittedly a lot of people might not see as an issue, but right now the current competitive Overwatch system doesn't really reward a lot of individual play, but rather than team-based play, and this is especially more gambly for solo queue players. And this is how the competitive mode in the Overwatch 2 beta can help solve all three of those issues to make it feel like a completely different experience while also making it feel like a better experience. So the first issue, we got people playing at the rank that they don't belong at, probably because they haven't touched this game in years. This is of course where I suggest the idea of a hard SR and MMR reset, but the way that we accomplish this is kind of take the idea of what's already in place into Overwatch right now. Basically, we're going to have a level minimum for all players, brand new players or old veteran players, that they have to get to before they can get in competitive. But rather than being level 25, I want to be level 10, because for the most part, I do feel like a lot of people already know the idea of Overwatch. They understand ultimates, they understand the abilities of a lot of these heroes, they understand the idea of tanks, DPS, and support. The only new, like, brand new heroes is going to be Doomfist as a tank and Sojourn. The idea of making it only level 10 allows players to get familiar with the little new aspects about Overwatch 2, but more importantly, it helps calculate where your MMR really is, because a player that has played Overwatch back in 2017 that might have been a Grandmaster is probably going to play at a Diamond or maybe even Platinum level when they experience all the brand new things that has happened in the past like 4 years. So that way, when they actually go into competitive, they're not placed into Grandmaster necessarily unless they do really good in their placement games, which is where the second solution comes into play. We gotta fix the issue of placement games not mattering. Now, I might have sounded like I wanted placement games to literally determine your rank, so if you win all 5 placement games, you get Grandmaster. Okay, maybe not. Maybe that was an exaggeration, but I do want a placement game to have a lot more effect on your possible rank, so that, again, the placement games can matter and you have a chance to restart after competitive season. We've all had bad competitive seasons, and I'm sure that's even happening right now. So when the Overwatch 2 beta comes out, and if it has a competitive season, well, I don't want a continuation of my Overwatch 1 rank to go into the new life of Overwatch 2. While I know deep down I don't typically play at a Grandmaster's rank, but I sure as heck know I don't play at a Bronze rank. People in the comment section may say otherwise. Let's just say if I go into my 5 placement games after I just played 10 levels worth of Overwatch 2 quick play, and let's say hypothetically I did great in my placement games and I win all 5 of them, well, then I'm gonna maybe be put at a Grandmaster's rank. Now, to you that might sound absurd, like, well, what, you typically play at like a Diamond Master's rank and here you are getting put at low GM? You didn't earn that. Well, did I not? Did I not earn that in the situation of me winning all 5 placement games? Let's look at it the other way. Let's say I typically play at like a Diamond Masters rank, but I lose all 5 placement games. Put me at like high gold or low platinum. And now you might say, well, that's even worse. Like, that's gonna be a shot to my ego. Yeah, probably. But even if I do place that low, I know I truly play at like a Masters rank, and I'm gonna steamroll through the platinum players that I'm playing with. Now you might say, well, won't you have bad teammates that hold you down? Well, that's where the third solution comes into play, but sticking with the situation that's happening right now, I got placed in Platinum, I'm going to do great in my games, and that's going to motivate me to want to play more, grind more, and climb more because, well, I'm doing great because, well, I don't play at this rank usually. It would be very similar to what happened in this current Valorant competitive season, where a lot of the top ranked players, I'm talking about Immortal and Radiant players, were placed in like Platinum and Gold, and while it was a shot to their ego at first, they obviously won a bunch of games after the placement games. They won a bunch of RR, which is just the SR equivalent, and then they shot up in the ranks. This allows for the placement games to matter, differentiate between the seasons, but also not have the previous season affect the current competitive season. But especially if you feel like deep down in your little heart, if you believe that you belong at a higher rank, this is where the third solution can really help fix the current competitive Overwatch system and add a new feel to it. And the third issue that we're trying to fix, which again, some people might not see as an issue, is trying to reward more individual play. Now, I get it. Overwatch is a team-based game. DPS rely on tanks because they help provide protection. Support rely on DPS because they get the kills. So I understand that. But you're telling me that after 6 years of having this competitive Overwatch system that we haven't figured out a way to reward individual play, so that if I, a typical Masters player, is in a Platinum rank and I absolutely destroy the competition, that I'm not compensated for my obvious carry? And listen to what I just said. I said carry. I didn't say kills, because that'll be the first argument that people will bring up, is that support players don't get a lot of kills compared to DPS players. So you're saying that DPS players get shot up in the ranks? No. What we can calculate is for tank players, for tanks, if it was like a main tank, how much protection you do, or if it's an off tank like a Diva or a Roadhog, how much damage and kills you do there. For DPS, obviously the damage and kills that you provide, or for Sombra, how much hacks you get off while also securing a kill, and for supports, how much healing you provide, and how many assists you have for the team. That's what we can calculate based on individual plays, so that if even a Mercy or an Ana absolutely carries the team, they should be rewarded for 50 SR, 75 SR, 100 SR, and for those those who suck, who are getting obviously carried, they're only going to gain 10 SR, 20 SR. I want more individual rewards, but also more individual punishments, so that people that throw competitive Overwatch games will lose like 50, 75 SR, and those who are obviously carrying but on a terrible team, they'll only lose 10 SR. And again, I'll admit some people might not like it, but that's the point of the beta, is to test stuff out like that, because I guarantee if the Overwatch team were to advertise a new competitive system that rewards based on individual play, so many people would be relieved, because for years people hated being weighed down by terrible teammates. Even still, people complain, oh, my teammates are not allowing me to climb. Well, now the new competitive system will tell you how good or how trash you are, because if you think you did good and you only gain 15 SR, newsflash, you're not that good. But again, I might be the only one that wants this kind of idea of an SR reset, MMR reset, a new competitive system, but if you hate this idea, and if they were to add it in the Overwatch 2 beta, well, you can still just play quick play, or you can just play Overwatch 1 competitive, where it's had that archaic system for years now. Like, literally, that system hasn't changed since Season 2 for 5 years. We need something different. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of these ideas, and see you guys later. I love you guys, and bye.